Greeting Hicks and Prez. This is Pastor Robert, and coming to you today with a few important updates, things that you need to know about what's going on and what we're doing. The number one thing that you need to know is that we are moving the worship service inside, not only this week, but for the foreseeable future, probably through the rest of the summer. And the most obvious reason is that it's brutally hot out there, and it's hard on all of us in different ways. We'll miss some of the freedoms that it gives, but I think it's time that we move inside. And there are some other reasons, and an important one for us is that it will give us the ability to provide a higher quality stream to those who are at home. And this is important because a lot of you are watching at home, and we can just do it better inside. And since it's cooler and we're inside, we're not as constrained by time trying to get out of the heat, that we can offer a fuller service and hopefully go back and do a liturgy more familiar to us in terms of what we've done. For instance, this Sunday we're going to have a double baptism. It is exciting for me as a church to be able to be together corporately and to practice the sacraments and participate in those together, and it is very exciting for me, very sweet to be able to do that this Sunday. And I know that some of you have just been waiting for us to come inside, and that you weren't comfortable being outside, and so this is your turn, and I hope that we'll see you. There are guidelines for inside worship attached to this email, so I would ask you to read those carefully and understand them before you come. But let me just offer a few things that I would like to highlight out of those. And number one is that, we're trying to do everything that we can to mitigate the risk. That being together would be a safe thing for us to do. And this is why we're asking everyone to wear masks while we're in the building. We're asking everyone to stay socially distanced at all times as you come in, as you proceed to your seats, as we exit the building. Let's try not to get bottlenecked. Let's maintain social distance. The chairs in the sanctuary are appropriately distanced. We're going to be streaming the service also into M1, M2, and the youth room. So we have 3 rooms with TVs that are already installed where we're able to put the service up. That'll allow some of us who may want to spread out a little bit. You can worship together in a smaller group in the building, although we should have plenty of room in the sanctuary for those who want to be there. We're offering a touchless service. The bulletins are going to be online. You can print it yourself to bring. You can pull it up on your phone. The words of the song will be up on the screens and projected. And at this time, we're going to have the congregation only sing the last song. We don't want to not sing, but there are inherent dangers in singing, just like there are in coughing. So for now, we will sing, but it will be the last song, last thing we do before we exit the room. The building's being sanitized regularly. There are sanitizer throughout the building. We're trying to do what we can on our end. But I want to remind everyone that despite all that we do, there is always some risk. We can't eliminate it completely. And so we would ask you that if you choose to come, please follow the guidelines. Please do the things that we're asking you to do, regardless of what your personal feelings are, your personal opinions and beliefs. We're simply asking what Jesus has asked us to do in so many situations, which is to die to ourselves that we may love others, to die to our own rights in order that we may serve. Now I know that there are some who are higher risk, and you should stay home. You should continue to worship with us at home online, and there are others of you who are just not ready to come back, and we want you to know that we understand that. We fully understand, and this is one reason why we want to provide a higher quality service and a higher quality stream to those who are not able to be here. We've invested in new equipment, so that should help us to do that, as well as moving inside. Just gives us more control in the sanctuary and the familiarity of the way that we have worshiped through the years. So let me leave you with 2 final thoughts as I wrap this up. I want to keep it short for you today. And first, it's simply this, is not only to follow the guidelines while you're here, but I would ask you to follow the guidelines while you're out there, out in the community, the guidelines and the mandates that have been asked of us as citizens in this community. I would ask you to abide by them. while they are in place, and for the simple reason that the more we are responsible out there, the safer that we're going to be when we're together in here. And we want it to be a safe place. We want to be able to come here and to worship together corporately as safely as possible, minimizing the risk to those who, to everyone, not just to those who are at higher risk, but to everyone. And I think one of the best ways to do that is if all of us are careful out there, responsible out there, then the risk is minimized when we're here. So I'd ask you to please consider that. And finally, I want to acknowledge that these are stressful and confusing times, and they're that way for me. I've had to do some self-educating on things. I've done a lot of reading about some of the issues that are going on, not only with the pandemic, but with politics, with racial issues. There is a great deal of confusion and stress in terms of what's happening. And I know that causes a lot of disagreement, that we're not, throughout our community and throughout our country, we are not agreed on a lot of things that are going on. And I understand that. But I'm also finding in the church that there's more misunderstanding than there is disagreement. And this is because a lot of words are defined differently by different people. And so when they're used by different people, they intend and mean different things. And sometimes when you use a word or say something, then people think a whole stream of thought, that this means that you think all these things down this road, which isn't true necessarily. So I guess what I'm just trying to say is this. There's a lot more misunderstanding, I think, between us and the church than there is actual disagreement. And so if you have questions and concerns, I would encourage you to have conversations with people, to talk, to listen, to try to understand. If we ask questions of each other in terms of what we mean, and does that mean, the things that we think they mean down the road, and just have some conversations. And so for me, I would ask if there are questions and concerns about myself or the church or the staff and that kind of thing. I would say, my friends, let's talk. Email me, call me. I'll buy you a cup of coffee, however you would want to do it. I am almost certain that we can clear things up if we just have a conversation. In this climate of polemics and arguing and yelling and protesting, I think there needs to be a lot more dialogue, especially in the church, my friends. Let us give each other the benefit of the doubt and have a conversation. I am excited about the changes that we're making to bring us together and to improve the quality of our worship in person and online. We want it to be a rich experience of worship together. I hope that you'll join us. I hope that you'll join us in person for those who understand and are willing to take that risk, and you're not at high risk. But also for you who are at home, I hope that you will join us. I hope that you will continue to worship with us at Hicks and Prez. Please continue to financially support the work here. We continue to do the work of the ministry here. We're laboring hard behind the scenes in so many different ways. And I know summer is busy, but we would simply encourage you to not lose sight of the ministry that's going on and the needs of your church. So let's stay together during these trying times. Let's stay together. Let's stay strong. Let's worship together. And let's honor the Lord in all that we do and how we do it and how we say it. In the name of Jesus, we ask these things. Go in peace.